Apple is going to launch a subscription model for the phone. How will this hurt or help their business and stock? What kind of subscription is it going to be?
So now, opposed to just having the software bundle, they are going to bundle all of the software and the ability to buy a phone. They haven't said what the pricing is, but I think at $250 a month, if they got 8.3 million people, that'll put them at $2 billion in revenue a year. If it was 200 a month, it'd be at 22 million people, it'd be 4.4 billion in revenue.
Oh, $200 a month?
Hypothetically, this is just my extrapolation. They haven't announced a number yet.
That's a lot.
But what they want to do is take away.
Well, wait.
No, to get iPhone, iCloud, iPhone,
all products and services,
and bundled in one.
Oh, got you.
That's a lot. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money.
If you do Apple TV, you got Apple Health,
everything in one.
You get the phone.
I don't think nobody. No, they can't do that. It got to be under $50. Has to be under.
Of course, they'll probably do something under 50, but we have to remember Apple is the #1 luxury brand in the world. I know people think it's LVMH, but they are, even in the retail space, they sell more per square foot than every other retailer, including Hermes, Louis Vuitton, Gucci. So they do have an audience that will pay, and I think they'll roll out a couple more incentives for sure to entice people. But I think if people can pay, and it's also a sign of a degrading economy when companies, because what they're trying to do is effectively take away the pricing power from Verizon, T-Mobile, et cetera, to be able to give you those deals to finance the phone and tie them in. Also, they're doing a deal now with Goldman Sachs to bring in the financial services and crypto. So now you can do buy now, pay later directly through Apple. Now you don't have to go through a third party. So when I tell everyone, like, everyone is your competition, not just your immediate competition, like Cardi B is your competition, right? Apple, Google, Microsoft, great. You have to be mindful of that when you're doing a SWOT analysis of like what your strengths and weaknesses are and what potential threats are there. So now if they offer buy now, pay later, then they have the Apple credit card and they're working on their own crypto platform, and you can buy Apple services and an iPhone. Let's say it's 50 a month. What is 50 a month times 19 million people? That business alone is worth more than Neo, worth more than Lucid. So
in that model, right, rather than paying like the phone provider, you're not paying Apple for the actual product.
Yeah, you're paying Apple directly. You're going right to the source, and right to the plug.
The same way you would, because I mean, even for the iCloud service, if everybody does it, right? Like, yo, you're out of.
You have to.
You got to get the $299, then you run out of $299, then you got to go up to the $999.
Yeah.
So that gets bundled in, and then every other. So it's for your iPad, your watch, your MacBook.
Family.
So they will be the service, but then they would have to have towers and all that to be service providers, because they're not service providers. That's why you need T-Mobile, Verizon.
Yeah,
because they actually provide the service. So you saying like Apple's going to cut them out and just be service?
No. T-Mobile, they'll still serve as the service providers. They're just bundling more of the service to get the flow of business inside and get a bigger margin. Because remember, even when they first did the deal with AT&T exclusively when the phone first came out, and then they slowly positioned them out and made it non-exclusive. This is a strategy that they've done forever. People just don't see it coming because they're perceived to be a slow, boring company. They're like, Apple is great at selling you the same product over and over again, but also on the business side, lulling you to sleep, and then they rock you like crazy with the dramatic change. So now if they can get that ecosystem to pay them more, and remember, they've already done it with the App Store. Get 30% of every business that's on that platform. So now if they can cut out a couple providers, and I think also too, the subscription model gives them even more safety to allow them to have less drawdown if we hit a recession. So if they can report an extra $9 billion coming in this 65% profit, they'll probably draw down 10% less than any of their other competitors as a result. So I think it's a perfect model given the times that we're in.
It also bundles into things that, they probably weren't moving, right? So like, I don't know people have Apple Arcade, right? But I know a bunch of people that have Apple TV. Also a bunch of people that have Apple Music, but I don't know how many people do Apple Fitness. And so you bundle all those things in, it kind of makes sense that they're gonna get all their products out.
Well, yeah, I think Apple Music is $9 a month.
Yeah, family plan $14.99.
Yep. Then Apple TV, they won an Oscar. Even with that,
that's big.
Quality over quantity. I was talking to Amadou when I told you guys last week, and he was like, "Hey, I think they're gonna win the Oscar." Then they did. That kind of got overshadowed with the Will thing. but it's like they got an Oscar at a faster rate than Netflix did.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's a small portion of audience, but look how many creators are going to want to push content there now. Now, if the shows get better and the movies get better and they're not burning through them and they have less debt, they may be able to overturn that throne that Netflix is currently on. So if you bundle all that stuff together, and listen, if I were them, I'll let Fortnite keep 90% of the money and bring it back on the platform, and I keep 10% and keep everybody else. Trust me, people will pay for that subscription because and that's why I would say comparing businesses. Would you rather buy a subscription from Apple or Peloton? I think the new executive at Peloton is great, but they don't have an offer irresistible enough to entice people to come at scale. I think Apple will.
They will. They will.
So is this going to be good or bad for the stock and the company?
Absolutely incredible.
More revenue.
Like this is a business NFT. If we had keys on, you understand me? Shout out to my guy. You understand me? Shout out to my guy. This is a business version of an NFT. Like I'm going to bundle everything up where you cannot go anywhere else. Absolutely brilliant.
And they have the brand loyalty that nobody's gonna want to go anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
These guys, so they did it again. Well, potentially they did it again.
Apple. Shout out to Apple. Okay, let's talk about this Facebook TikTok situation.
This is near and dear to you.
I know the crystal ball not glowing as bright. Shout out to Ally.
This should be near and dear.
But I told you.
Yeah. What I'm hearing? All right. So what exactly happened? Some slander or something like that?
You want me to give you the headline?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So Facebook has paid the GOP firm to malign TikTok. So Facebook
is this confirmed?
This
Absolutely.
Is from the Washington Post. So Facebook parent company Meta is paying one of the biggest.
Who's owned by Jeff Bezos?
By the way, is paying one of the biggest Republican consulting firms in the country to orchestrate a nationwide campaign seeking to turn the public against TikTok.
Are they currently doing it now? So it's not a secret.
It had been done like the last 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, the campaign includes placing op-eds and letters to the editor in major regional news outlets reporting dubious stories about alleged TikTok trends that actually originated on Facebook. So like dance turns to danger. Like that would be like a headline, right? So yeah, man.
All is fair in love and war, man. It's a war. Business is a war.
This is business dirty Mackin 101.
Dirty Mackin, that's a fact.
Yeah, not something that I would do. I don't believe in those type of strategies or tactics.
Nah.
But it is war, and all is fair in love and war. And
I would always say that a superior person, brand, or firm does not have to sling mud on another person to make themselves shine.
I agree.
If you are great, other people will see it in you. So that's why when people and you said this, people usually throw and try and create competition amongst people that are like ranked higher than them. Like you won't see Jay-Z going down to an up and coming backpack rapper and be like, yo, you aren't anything, right?
You can't fight in that weight class. It's people throw rocks at the throne.
Yeah.
You throw rocks from the throne.
From the throne. Even though I may want to. I'm learning, not my stay, right?
Heavy is the crown.
You gotta get them over Fiki. But and this is a prime example. When you begin to use tactics like this, it's a sign of a declining brand. If that same energy and effort was focused on building a better product or streamlining, like I would be happy if they would just eliminate the usage of bots on their platform and allowing it. Please. But I understand they want it for engagement and they need it, but that's also another sign that the product is not as good. TikTok is an incredibly sticky product. Anyone who's ever been on TikTok, you'll spend an hour and a half on it by accident. There are things that I think they could have done to improve Instagram, but instead of doing that, and are the dangers that they're talking about real? Yes. The privacy stuff? Yes. Huge issue, right? But most consumers don't care about privacy, any of the China versus US stuff they don't care about. But I think when you see this, or whenever a brand says they are, like back in the day, people was like, this company is the Apple killer. That never pans out to be true. So it's a sign that that brand is weakening overall. That's why I've been telling everybody to use TikTok over Facebook.
Yeah, it shows you the power of influence, right? Like if you have 3 billion people on your platform and you put out a message saying TikTok is a threat to American children, that's national news.
Absolutely.
And everybody has to cover it. Mm-hmm. And nobody ever where it was originated. It's just, that's the headline. You know what I mean? So like, pay attention to all these things.
Yeah, you have to.
Still not sold on TikTok.
Why? Y'all page growing.
Well, yeah, you got
the engagement there. Sick. Go follow Earn Your Leisure TikTok. Go
follow
Master Investor TikTok, please.
By the way,
shout out to my guy. I appreciate you, Chris.
That's a fact. No, I mean you
Wall Street Trapper. Yeah.
Talk about getting the room.
You got to diversify your portfolio.
For real.
You definitely have to diversify your portfolio. But I don't know. I'm just not sold on it. I don't know.
It's a better product.
I don't know. I'm still not.
I'm
still
subscribed
not.
to it.
I still haven't.
Tough. I know that's where our kids are.
You subscribe to what?
TikTok.
What do you mean?
Like I have an account. Maybe I have an account, but it's tough. Our kids, my kids are always on there.
You always have to follow what the kids are doing because the kids are going to be the ones who spread. They're going to have the viral impact on the parents. So even like when I was huge on Facebook in 05, shout out to Stevie G who got me on it. I told my uncles and everyone about it. Like, oh, you spend all this time online. What you doing? You wasting your time. I'm like, okay. And then 10 years later, every adult is on. So at some point, we're going to have like an adult migration to TikTok. And then they'll leave and they'll go somewhere else. The kids will go somewhere else. But the kids, same in hip hop. Like the kids set what's hot, not us that are, late 30s or early 40s. Like
the trends.
Yeah, the kids going to set the trends for what's hot. We just have to be there early enough. But I think even though it's dangerous, TikTok is a superior product for sure. Please put in chat, which one do you like using more, TikTok or IG? TikTok has bots too, but it's way worse on Instagram. Oh my god!
The vast majority of people don't say Instagram, they lying. Because I know that
caps in chat.
Most people that listen to Market Mondays is between 25 and 40, and that age demographic is on Instagram. So if y'all don't say Instagram, heavy on the cap. Sir, cap a lot. But TikTok.
We walk into Facebook to do a deal. Like I'm like, whoa, what do you think about TikTok? Oh, my bad, Mark.
TikTok is definitely a good product for sure. And definitely follow our TikTok for sure. It is very vital. Very vital to the success of any entrepreneur these days. So,
if you have to only pick one,
Instagram. You got to go with the proven. You got to go with the proven model because anything can happen. That's what I learned. Anything can happen. And Instagram right now is still supreme. TikTok is a very formidable opponent, but Instagram's still number one.
Do you have a bias towards it because of the elevation of the brand, and you think or no?
What'd you say?
Do you have a bias towards it because of the brand growth? Because I love Facebook, but Facebook dead.
Facebook is dead, but you can still go viral on Facebook. You can still
That's true.
You can still go viral on Facebook.
True.
So
that's true.
Don't totally discount Facebook. And Facebook groups are big. They're big too.
May 1st, Red Panda, you guys will finally have access and be able to chat amongst each other. So yeah,
we gonna do something on the Facebook group too. But yeah, I feel like you got to diversify your portfolio, just like investing. But it's not really necessarily a bias. I just feel me spending a lot of time on social media. I just still feel like I feel like the culture is still on Instagram. That's where all the viral moments go crazy. That's where the shade room reigns supreme. That's what made this whole Will Smith and Chris Rock thing go crazy. The culture is still on Instagram.
Fact.
And I know somebody in the comments going like, we're going to create a social media for our culture. People have been trying.
Shout out to my guy, Isaac Hayes.
Yeah. People don't support him enough.
Yes.
Yo, shout out to Nate Parker.
Oh, what's the name of the app though?
Oh, his?
Yeah.
I'll get it for you in 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
Fanbase. Shout out to Fanbase. Yes, we
not an ad, but
not an ad. But he was on Ash Cash podcast. We will be building with him soon. I spoke to him a few times, so
good brother.
I'm pro that. I'm just saying that Instagram is just King Kong in the situation right now. That's all.
That's a fact.
Hopefully, on a quick sidebar, are there any like social media tips you would want to give to aspiring entrepreneurs? Because I know they look up to you guys for kind of insight.
Social media, yes. Consistency, extremely important. Originality, extremely important. Take time to study. Like I was actually having a conversation today with a principal of a school, high school, and I was telling him like business schools are outdated. Like MBA programs are outdated because there's no way that you can have an MBA program right now without having social media as part of the MBA program. It's one of the most vital things in marketing. So if you're not teaching the art, because it is an art and a science, don't ever let somebody discredit it like it's just, if it was that easy to build 1 million followers, everybody would have it.
Mm-hmm.
People try to discredit things that they can't do themselves. And they just
They're
like, oh, you an influencer. You can say whatever you want. It's real people that's following and real products that's being purchased and real money that's being made. So to master the art of social media is extremely, extremely important. And part of that is staying up to date. Like you got to spend time on the apps. You got to spend time on the apps. You got to actually know what's trending, what's not trending, when apps is going out of style, when other apps are coming in style. Very important. New features, new updates. It's just like studying any other marketplace. Like it's the world that we live in right now. So consistency, originality, and value add. That's always been our thing. Our thing has always been, how can we add value? A lot of people go a lot of different other routes, but our thing is like, how can we add as much value as possible? And now it's even harder because now we got to do it in 60-second reel format. We used to be able to do like IGTV, which 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes. It's not easy to explain something in financial terms in 60 seconds. It's actually extremely, it's kind of hard. So, you know, that's my biggest.
Don't breeze over that. Like, talk about that. Like the difficulty it is to read something, to interpret it, and to understand how to explain it to somebody so that they can get it. Like, that's a skill.
It took me 9 months to come up with 2 index for people to be like, man, that's easy. I'm like,
it's a skill.
No one prior put those together.
Yeah, because like I said, first you have to understand it and understand it and be able to teach it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we shouldn't just like gloss over that. That takes skill and it takes a lot of patience, right? Because some of these articles, a lot of times, especially like I'll read them, and I'm sure you read them too, and it's like, I ain't grasped that the first time. Let me go back and read it. Okay, let me go do some research on it so I can clearly understand what this means. All right, bet. And then I know, like, when you do the videos for it, it's like, oh, he's fully grasped it because now he can explain it.
My graduates from my school being Forbes, bag drop.
Bag drop.
A mic drop, bag drop.
Bag drop.